What's going on? What's going on? We back for another one. Hey, Canelo versus Smith is official for December the 16th. Not December the 16th, December the 19th. And I believe it's going to be on the zone. Now, this is what's interesting about this fight is the fact that both the WBA, Smith right now, he holds the WBA champion, super whatever championship, the main belt. Canelo has like a secondary belt in the WBA. That's going to be on the line. But not only is that going to be on the line, but the WBC championship is also going to be on the line. We all know that Benavidez, because of his weight, he lost his belt on the scales. And because of that, Canelo's actually looking at fighting a Yildirim or something like that for that WBC belt. But I guess he got put into a situation where he's going to get paid, I guess, financially, very well against the zone, with the zone. And he's not, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, they're not going to be taking a huge chunk of his money this time. So even if he got paid like $15 million, $18 million, something like that, he's still getting paid substantial. You know what I mean? Just that 30% or whatever, Golden Boy was taken out, they're not taking that out. You get to keep all that. And hopefully he's smart and intelligent enough not to be giving that amount of money to Eddie Hearn. So long as he does that, he's cool when it comes to that situation. But the fact that the WBC belt's going to be on the line, that's big. That's really big, just due to the fact that Canelo wins his fight. He has two of the belts. He has both the WBA and he has the WBC. The only belts that's going to be left out there is going to be the WBO that Billy Joe Saunders has, and also the IBF that Caleb Plant has. Now, we're kind of I was upset about the fact that he picked, Smith. I wasn't upset. I was like, what I said was, I'm disappointed he's not fighting Plant because he put that, he dangled that out in front of us. And then this is what he used to do a lot. Also when he was with Golden Boy. And then obviously he switched up to something that people weren't really asking for. But I still think that him fighting him is putting everything into a really cool situation. Just due to the fact that you fight Smith, you have two of the belts. There's only other two guys with belts. He has he's in a space where next year he can set himself up where he's the undisputed champion in the world at 168 pounds, or he can at least give us the fight for undisputed. Now, let's say if he fought Plant next, right? He fights Plant next after this. And let's say Plant beats him, right? And Plant gets that belt. You know what I mean? Or even if Canelo gets that belt. It puts us now into a situation where Eddie Hearn's going to know that, hey, for undisputed, you got to fight, my guy. So because you got to fight my guy, he can end up making it very difficult and hard to make that fight happen, especially when it comes to a fight of that magnitude. So what I'm thinking actually is that I don't think Canelo Alvarez should fight Plant next. It's kind of a situation where we don't get what we want right now, so we get what we want later. So we really get what we want later. It's that kind of situation. It's almost like that type of, that type of situation. Like, yeah, I can get this, Ferrari, 458 Speciale right now, or I can wait a few months from now and I can get myself a LaFerrari or Enzo. I'm gonna wait a couple of months, even though this one is nice. I'm gonna wait a couple of months to get that Enzo. So I think that's what we should do. We should wait to get that Enzo, get that LaFerrari, and not worry about getting this 458 Speciale, right now. And so I think what he should do is after this fight, believe it or not, I'm saying he should not fight Plant next. I'm thinking that the person he should fight next is Billy Joe Saunders. So you don't have that whole undisputed thing that's set up over there. I think if he can do it on Showtime or Fox, I think it'll be better just due to the fact you'll be on a platform that actually promotes his fights. That's number one. And you're on a platform that people actually watch. Showtime will promote the hell out of him. And Showtime, I could see Showtime giving him $20 million to come over there, $15-20 million to fight Billy Joe Saunders. And then after that, which could still be on pay-per-view. And if it's not on pay-per-view, then do a big pay-per-view against Caleb Plant. And it will be for undisputed. So that's the route he should take. I honestly think that's the route he should take. And that's just 2 fights next year. That's just 2 fights next year. You get this fight in December, then you can get the 2 fights next year. Or if you want to, you can even do 3 fights depending on what happens. I mean, you knock Caleb Smith out, which is a possibility, you know, and you're good and you want to fight early next year, fight early next year. You know, set up that fight against Billy Joe Saunders, take that belt also. You know, now you got 3 of the belts. You got your WBO, WBA, WBC champion. You got all 3 of the straps. You're pretty much the man right now. And then after that, take on Caleb Plant. And even if you lose to Caleb Plant, so what? You fight him again in a rematch on pay-per-view, and you make a killing off of pay-per-view again. That first fight for Undisputed is doing 700,000 plus. You fight again, you're doing $1 million. You know, if you lose. If you win, cool. You won. You're the undisputed champion of the world. Probably first Mexican to be undisputed at 168 pounds, you know, which is kind of crazy because if he had fought Demetrius Andrade, he could have been undisputed at 160 and he could have been undisputed at 168, but whatever. I digress. I believe that's what he should do. And then after he does that, if you're able to beat Caleb Plant, boom, you jump into a Jamal Charlo fight. Into a Jamal Charlo fight. $1+ million again. You know, have him come up to 168 and you fight him at 168 pounds. You know what I mean? Huge fights in another big pay-per-view. And again, there's another fight. I honestly don't think it matters if you win or you lose. You win that fight, cool. If you lose it, you rematch. You do it again. And then if you're able to win that fight, by that time, Benavidez hopefully got his stuff together. You know what I mean? Got his weight back down and is being responsible when it pertains to that. And you can fight him in a big, huge match against Benavidez. You know, and at that point, if you want to, you could retire, to be honest, because I know his body's breaking down. So he's not going to be one of those fighters that's going to be able to fight until he's like 38 years old or anything like that, because that body's already breaking down. You know, so believe it or not, man, I'm saying that he shouldn't fight Caleb Plant. You know, I was, you know, in my previous video, I was saying that, you know, I wasn't going to necessarily judge him until after this particular fight. You know, I was going to see if he's going to fight a Charlo next after this, or he's going to fight a Caleb Plant next after that. But just due to the fact that both those belts are on the line, and due to the fact that he can put himself into the space where he can grab that other one and do it in a way where Eddie Hearn might not necessarily make it as difficult and as hard to get that fight, that's where you got to go, I think. That's what you have to do. Even if it has to be on the zone, that's cool. Go ahead on the zone and get that bout. But I do, if you can get it on pay-per-view, though, on Showtime or on Fox, I think that's the way to go because they're way better off at promoting fights. You know, and they're platforms that people actually watch. You know, and they're doing 300,000 pay-per-views, 325, you know, 250, whatever it is with these other guys. So, you know what I mean? With him, if he's still the same guy, you should be able to put in some numbers. You know what I mean? And also due to the fact that everything's going to be opening up hopefully soon by next summer. So it kind of works out perfect because you could have that Caleb Plant fight in a venue, you know, and make a substantial amount of bread off that venue. That's the other big thing. You know, you'll have that available. So why do that now and lose money, actually? Why lose that venue money right now when it pertains to that fight? You know? Doesn't make any sense. Why lose that venue money that you'll get from a Charlo fight later on as well? Makes no sense. So we'll see what's up. We'll see what happens. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.